Hello and welcome back to the Chauvin Arnoux UK channel. Today we're taking a closer look at the Chauvin Arnoux CA6117 multifunction tester. The CA6117 MFT is designed to meet the highest industry standards, ensuring your installations are tested safely, accurately and in full compliance. So let's dive in and see what makes the CA6117 a must-have multifunction tester for your electrical testing kit. Powering up the CA6117 is quick and the interface is intuitive. Navigating through the functions is seamless thanks to the rotary switch and directional keypad. As you can see, the backlit colour LCD screen ensures clear visibility in any lighting condition. The help guide button, which is here, is a valuable feature for both beginners and experienced professionals. You can click on it to see step-by-step instructions on how to connect the unit to run each test. Now, let's explore the test functions. You can cover everything from basic continuity checks to advanced power analysis with this unit. So the first function on the rotary keypad is the continuity testing. The continuity testing can be performed with different currents of 12 milliamps, 200 milliamps or a kiloohm setting, with automatic polarity reversal for verifying protective conductors. The high current setting, 200 milliamps, is used to measure low resistances up to 40 ohms. The low current mode of 12 milliamps is used to measure high resistances up to 400 ohms. The choice kiloohm is used to make resistance measurements up to 400 ohms. To perform a lead compensation in continuity mode, press the R function button, join the leads together and press test. If you press the settings button, you will find that you can change the parameters of the continuity test. The first parameter change you can make in the settings is pulse mode or continuous mode. In pulse mode, press test once and the CA6117 will perform a single test. In continuous mode, press test and the CA6117 will continuously perform measurements until the test button has been pressed again. The second parameter change you can make in the settings is the polarity direction. You can choose the R plus minus button to change this setting. R plus minus is an automatic reversal of polarity for a measurement at 200 milliamps. The R plus is a measurement at positive polarity only, and R minus is a measurement at negative polarity only. The last parameter change in settings in continuity mode is the alarm threshold, which can be set manually by pressing the bell icon. The next function on the rotary switch is the insulation testing. Onto the insulation resistance function, you can select different test voltages of 50 volts, 100 volts, 250 volts, 500 volts and 1000 volts, suitable for all installation types. If you click on the alarm button in this mode, you can set the alarm threshold by changing the resistance limit. The next function on the rotary switch is the 3-pole earth method. So the 3-pole earth method is used with 2 earth rods. We recommend using the 62% method when using the CA6117. This function is the only one that can measure an earth resistance when the electric installation to be tested is not live. It uses 2 earth rods, with the 3rd rod being constituted by the earth electrode to be tested. You can also do a lead compensation by clicking the R button, joining the leads together and pressing test. Before starting the measurement, you can configure the test by modifying the parameters. Click the magnifying glass and choose which test parameter you want to have. If you choose the icon, which is crossed out, this is the rapid measurement mode, which will only measure RE. If you choose the icon, which is not crossed out, this will give you a more detailed measurement which includes the rod resistances RS and RH. This is useful when the ground is dry, making the resistances of the rods high. If you press the bell icon, this is how you set the resistance threshold limit. Now, moving on to the ZR and ZS measurements. The next test option moves over to loop impedance measurements. Choose ZS for live to potential earth and ZR for live to live or live to neutral. On the ZS setting, there is a range of current settings to choose from: 6 milliamps, 9 milliamps, 12 milliamps, or trip. Again, you can also repeat the lead compensation process in this mode by pressing the R button. If you go into the settings in this mode, you can activate or deactivate the smoothing of the signal with the top left button shown here. If you press the U-Ref button, you can choose the test voltage which you want to test at. If you press the alarm button in ZS mode, you can choose the resistance threshold limit for ZR and RK. If you choose ISC, you can set the fuse parameters. The first fuse parameter shown is the how long before the fuse blows. The second fuse parameter is the fuse type, and the last set parameter is the current rating. Now onto the ZR function. The ZR mode has the exact same configuration settings as the ZS mode. Again, you can also do the lead compensation in this mode. We also have a voltage drop mode within the ZR function. By clicking the top left button, this will swap between ZR and the voltage drop function. By clicking the Z reference button, this indicates whether the first measurement has already been entered as a reference. If the symbol is greyed out, this is not the case. Otherwise, the reference value is indicated. Next, if you go into the settings, you can see that you can change the parameters for the test. Again, set the fuse settings with the fuse button, and also set the test voltages with the U reference button. You can also set the alarm for voltage drop as a percentage by clicking the alarm button within the settings. Next up is RCD mode. The RCD test in ramp mode serves to determine the exact value of the tripping current of the RCD. The test in pulse mode serves to determine the tripping time of the RCD. In the RCD ramp test mode, you can choose a range of test currents from 6 milliamps, 10 milliamps, 30 milliamps, 100 milliamps, 300 milliamps, 500 milliamps, 650 milliamps, and 1000 milliamps. And you can also input a manual test up to 100 milliamps. Next, if you press the RCD button, this will tell the unit which AC test or DC test you want to perform, and also a choice of which RCD type you want, ranging from standard, S or G. And the S type is tested with a nominal operation current of 2 amps as default. You can also press the button that looks like a factory to reset the RCD settings to default settings. This can be done in the pulse RCD mode also. If you press the settings button in the RCD ramp mode function, you will see parameter changes can be made to the test. To perform a prior check of voltage, press the UF parameter and choose a test current. For type EV RCDs or for a quicker measurement, eliminate the preliminary check of voltage UF by selecting this button. The last parameter in the RCD ramp function is the audible voltage alarm. To activate or deactivate the audible alarm, simply choose if you want this on or off and press OK. The next RCD function is the pulse mode. In RCD pulse mode, you can change all the same current test parameters as you can in the RCD ramp mode. If you press the RCD button in the RCD pulse mode, you can press the UF button, which will perform a prior check of voltage, same as the RCD ramp function. If you press the alarm button, you'll be able to program the alarm on the minimum tripping time, the maximum tripping time, or program the alarm for both tripping times simultaneously. When clicking the RCD button in RCD pulse mode, you can choose the form of this test signal. By pressing the RCD button, this allows you to choose what type of RCD you want to test. Test signals that start with a positive or negative alternation are for AC RCDs. Test signals containing only positive or only negative alternations use type A or F RCDs. For testing continuous positive DC or continuous negative DC signals, use type B, B+, or EV RCDs. Tap EV RCDs must be tested with DC at 6 milliamps. The next function on the rotary switch is the current mode. This function allows you to connect a CA current clamp accessory to the MFT to measure current on a circuit. If you click the bell icon in this mode, you can set the current threshold in amps or milliamps. The next function on the rotary switch is the phase sequence mode. Connect the tripod measuring lead terminated by 3 leads to the device and to each of the phases, the red to L1, the blue to L2 and the green to L3. Then press test. There are no other parameters to change in this mode. The next function on the rotary switch is the power mode. In the power mode, the first parameter button is choosing between single phase and 3 phase. So choose which type of installation you're measuring on. Press the second parameter key to display the voltage and current curves, as on an oscilloscope. If the clamp is not connected, only the voltage curve is displayed. The current curve cannot be displayed alone. The next function on the rotary key is the Harmonics mode. In the Harmonics mode, the FFT key is used to perform a harmonics test on voltage or current. The second parameter is to choose which unit you want to look at the harmonics in. You can choose a linear scale or a logarithmic scale, or show results in a form of an alphanumeric list. The third parameter key, THD key, gives you a choice of calculation method of the level of distortion with respect to the fundamental, or the distortion factor with respect to the RMF amplitude. The CA6117 is designed for all earthing systems, TT, TN and RT. The CA6117 adapts to residential, commercial and industrial environments. It's rated at 600 volts Cat 3 and 300 volts Cat 4, ensuring safe operation. Colour-coded terminals and on-screen help simplify connections. The lithium-ion battery offers up to 30 hours of operation. USB connectivity supports data export via RCT or data view software for report generation. So these are my personal highlights and considerations for the CA6117. The 6117 has 17 essential tests in one instrument. It has a robust design and an RP rating of 53 and an RK protection rating of 04. The interface is intuitive with a built-in help guide, long-lasting lithium-ion battery, suitable for all earthing systems, and also the CA6117 is compliant with the standards you see on screen now. Got any questions about the CA6117 multifunction tester, or want to find a Chauvin Arnoux authorised distributor near you? Contact us today on info@chauvin-arnoux.co.uk. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video, and I'll see you in the next one.